We worked 100 hours a week. We built everything ourselves. No wonder they didn't want to take a card, because who wants to wait 8 weeks for their money? So within 24 hours, you could be up and processing your card payments. You just have to be obsessed with your idea. It feels like everything is on fire every day.
Moin Leute, today's episode with Petter from SumUp. You all know SumUp, or if you don't know it, when you pay somewhere, you will use SumUp. That's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, originally I started the company because I was up on a mountaintop in Switzerland with my family, my 3 little boys and my wife, and we were paying for our 25 franc pizzas, and I couldn't pay with the card. I had to go down to the parking lot, 45 minutes on the gondola to get my wallet and cash, 45 minutes up again, and then I decided, okay, this is ridiculous. We can't live in the payment stone age. We have to have mobile card payments across Europe and the world, and that's what I built.
When was it, and where in Switzerland exactly?
This was 12 years ago now. Where was it? It was at
some ski resort.
Yeah. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the ones where you have to park at the bottom and then you take the gondola all the way up. I can't remember. There were so many different ones.
No worries.
It was Stockhütte Klevenalp or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, near Lucerne somewhere. And then you were a bit like surprised that this was not possible in Switzerland.
Yeah, because I mean, at that time, you could use the card at least in retail stores everywhere. But when it's mobile, when it's up on a mountain, then there was just no coverage at all. Today, SumUp has a partnership with UBS, and so UBS has made sure that you can pay with SumUp pretty much everywhere. Every single Alphütte, you can pay with a card now. As a Swede, I love paying with a card. We've been paying with cards in Sweden for the last 30 years. You can't even use cash in Sweden today. Like if you had cash and you try to give it to somebody, they were like, nope.
What's this, right?
What is this dirty stuff you're giving me?
All right, okay. So, but back then there were some terminals where you could pay with card, but was it too complicated, too big, and you made it very small and easy to use?
Yeah. So for merchants who are doing less than 1 million euros a year, it was very, very time-consuming and expensive for them to get a card terminal. In general, the acquiring banks, they won't even rent out the equipment to you if you're doing less than 1 million a year, because it's not worth it for their time. This is what it was 12 years ago, and so it could take 8 weeks to get your big clunky hardware. You had to connect it to a phone line. You had fixed costs and rental. Yeah, I mean, just a really nasty solution. And then you had to have rental fees. You have to buy these paper rolls to print the receipts. I mean, it's expensive. And for small businesses, and especially if they're mobile, they can't take the card payment terminal with them. So we figured out that, okay, if we can have a really fast onboarding, we can settle the money to them really quickly. We talked to some taxi drivers where, VIP taxi service, where they'd installed one of these big card terminals, and it took them 8 weeks to get their money. So no wonder they didn't want to take a card, because who wants to wait 8 weeks for their money in a small business? And so we designed hardware and onboarding process, which was 24 hours. So you sign up, you get your KYC, KYB, know your customer, know your business, so the security audit of the company. And then we open up your processing account. The next day, someone from SumUp would come and give you a box with the card reader. So within 24 hours, you could be up and processing your card payments.
Wow.
This was in Berlin and those cities where we had offices. So that onboarding experience, and this box, which was like an Apple box, you open it up with a magnet, and you had this beautifully designed device. We wanted to have the feeling of an Apple product, that you had that exclusivity and really high quality, but for a very reasonable cost. So super fast onboarding, high quality hardware and service, but reasonable cost. Combining all of those things is one of the reasons why SumUp has done so incredibly well. And as a company as well, producing our own hardware was very, very difficult. This was when Europe switched from magstripe to chip and pin cards. And so we'd launched into the market with a beta test, and we had these magstripe readers where you'd swipe your card, this little reader you put into the top of your phone. So you turn the phone into a card terminal. But there was so much fraud in the UK with card payments that the Visa Europe, which was owned by the banks at that time, they decided that we have to have chip and pin. So we were literally like the first company to build a certified mobile EMV certified chip and pin solution. And that's what we've been doing ever since. Today, SumUp is more like an operating system for SMEs, and it goes far beyond just taking the payments. But it's always had this philosophy of helping small businesses to run their business profitably and with a really high degree of service to themselves and also to their customers. And that's what we focused on.
When you had the idea in Switzerland, did you start the company here in 2013 or did you move somewhere else?
So my family was here, and I was traveling for the first 9 months. I was in Berlin, Frankfurt, London, Dublin. In the end, we established one large office in Berlin, one large office in Dublin, and one large office in London, where we ended up getting our payment institution.
Oh, right. Why was it better? You had the idea here, but you thought it was better to move on to other countries?
12 years ago, you had to build a company with quite a lot of people. And it just so happened that I had contacts in my network where there was a lot of people in payments operations in Dublin. And so we set up one of our offices there, and I started hiring developers, and it was just a way for us to run faster and to be more competitive quickly.
Okay.
If I had had a network here, then probably would have built here.
Right, okay. And then you started on your own, or you had a co-founder in the...
I had a co-founder from the beginning. There were 2 of us. And then we brought on board 3 more co-founders. So we were 5 from the beginning, which is unusual.
Right.
But we needed to run really fast. And so we needed professional, experienced people in a number of different areas who could all run in parallel together. The idea, I guess, over time was that, 2 founders would then take over responsibility of scaling the company. But in the beginning, the first 0 to 1, the first 3 years, we really needed to have a lot of resources and a lot of experience building at the same time. And we were hiring a lot of people and growing quickly and burning a lot of money.
Yeah.
We wanted to beat PayPal. We wanted to beat iZettle. They had started 6 months before us. This was a Swedish startup who built a really great company. They were tough competitors. And then there was the inevitable Rocket Internet company as well.
Oh, from Berlin, yeah.
Yeah, of course. They were making one company of everything at that time.
Yeah.
So we had to run really fast to beat the competition, and that's why we raised a lot of money as fast as we could. We built as fast as we could, and we built the whole company from A to Z ourselves. So the whole customer experience from, paying with the card. We built our own hardware, we built our own mobile apps, we built our own processing systems, we built our own transaction engine, we built our own reporting platform. We built everything ourselves, which if we were building it today, we probably wouldn't have done it this way because it was very time consuming and expensive. Today you have lots of components and almost Lego-like modules also on the payment processing side, and code libraries that you can use to build payment processing solutions. But back then, we built everything ourselves, which I think is also why the company is very valuable today, because it has all of that intellectual property and all that whole code base as a part of the company.
On your way to this tremendous success, what was your biggest fail?
Not sleeping enough. We worked 100 hours a week for 2.5 years, and I probably slept five hours a night on average.
During this time?
Yeah.
5 hours?
Except on Saturdays. So I was gone from Sunday night to Friday evening, away from my family and just working 100 hours a week.
So they stayed here and you were like...
all over the place, yeah. And then I came home and I would sleep, like half the Saturday. And then on Sunday spend a bit more time with the family, and then Sunday night I would fly off again and just build the company.
Wow.
So my family didn't see me much for the first 2.5 years.
Wow, 5 hours you slept over this large.
Yeah. Which is terrible. Like, it's really bad for your health. It's bad for
Yeah.
your decision making. It's bad for your energy. It's yeah. I advise all the companies that I'm coaching now, working as a partner for Ewar, sleep 7 to 8 hours. It's one of the most important things you can do.
So you would do this differently now,
Yeah.
as you recommend.
Yes. Absolutely. Because you make better decisions, you're more positive, you're more optimistic, you have more energy, and I just think you're more productive. Working more hours does not necessarily mean more productivity or more results. There's definitely, after a certain amount per day, there's a drop-off in efficiency and what you can actually achieve. I mean, when we were working in Dublin, we were working on our payment institution license application, and we were working till 2 a.m. in the morning, because at 2 a.m. was the last order of the kebab shop across the street, which was dinner. And then we would eat, and then we would go back to the hotel and sleep, and then we start again the next day. Yeah.
Wow, tough times, man. Really tough times.
Yeah.
And was there something special moment you remember which was made you really happy? And is there some story?
I mean, when you're building a company like that, that fast, you know, you raised a lot of money from investors. There's a lot of pressure. You've got to make the customers happy. You have to make sure that your team is working really well and are liking their time at the company, and everyone's motivated and building something incredible together. It's a lot. I mean, you remember all the moments when we had, you know, we celebrated our launch into the market, or we launched into a new market. But it's a lot of fires burning. It's just a lot of hard work and overcoming challenges every single day. Many you know, stretches of months at a time, you feel like you're losing every day, but you just have to keep on going, because you know you want to win, you want to build a great company, you want to attract great people to work with. So it's hard. It's a really hard and tough journey. A lot of people maybe have this romantic idea that, you know, building a startup is fantastic. You go to lots of conferences and you stand on stage and you talk and everybody thinks what you're doing is wonderful. It's pretty much the exact opposite. It feels like everything is on fire every day, and it feels like you're losing. You know, it feels like, you know, you're not getting enough customers. Your investors are angry because you're not growing fast enough, and you're running out of money. You have to raise more money for more investors. It's always a constant putting out the fires all the time, every day. And so I think you have to be pretty motivated and really believe in your idea and the company that you're building, because that is what you're doing. Ultimately, you're solving a problem, and you're trying to deliver value to your customer, and you believe so much that this is something which is going to benefit the world. And yeah, you just have to be obsessed with your idea. You have to you hear a lot of people talking about falling in love with the problem. That's true. I mean, I think that's the only way that you'll have the grit and the resilience to just keep on pushing when it feels super hard and it just feels too hard to go on. I mean, most startups fail, right? That's the reality. Yeah. I think it's something like 5 to 10% survive the first year, and it's like 10% survive the second year. So it's hard. And the number of companies which become unicorns, yeah, I mean, that's like 0.1% or less.
How did you create this motivation in you to go on when you had the feeling every day that you are losing?
So I was 41 when I started SumUp, co-founded it with my co-founders. And at that point, I'd built a lot of companies. I'd gathered a lot of experience in payments and fintech. I had like 17 years of experience from that field at that time. And I hadn't really been successful to the level that I wanted to be successful. I wanted to build a unicorn. I wanted to build something important that I could say, you know, I did everything I could, and I built this great company. And up until that point, I hadn't had that feeling. I was missing feeling myself that I had done something really successful as an entrepreneur. And so I asked my wife, this is kind of the stars aligning. This is that one opportunity. I think this is the one. Like, this is the one where it's all going to happen. And I asked her, can you take care of the kids, because I'm not going to be around for most of this time. And we're talking probably years. And my wonderful wife, being the person she is, she said, "Yeah, okay, let's do this." And I said, like, this is the one. This is the last time. And it's taking a lot of risk. I mean, we had 3 kids. My twins were 4 years old at that time. The eldest son was 5.5. So it was a really big risk. I spent all of our money, all of the savings that we had just surviving and while we were building the company. And that was a really big risk, and probably wouldn't recommend someone else to do that in the same situation. But I really, really wanted to build a successful company, and that idea was something which really, really pissed me off. That you were not able to pay and to have that great experience of going around wherever you were and paying with a card. Like, cash is expensive, it's dirty, it costs 15% to manage cash if you take all the costs involved with it, insurance, taking the money to the bank, putting it into your bank account, et cetera, et cetera. Most people don't know that or don't think about that. They think cash, well, cash is cash, it's free. No, as a payment method for a small business, the costs are 10 to 15% to handle that. And so I wanted to help small businesses to be able to build, survive, and thrive. This is where a lot of jobs are created, is in small businesses. They're fighting to survive, maybe 1 to 2 months worth of operating cash. That's why during COVID, those countries where there was a lockdown, tens of thousands of businesses went bankrupt. And during this time, SumUp kept operating, kept supporting those businesses and helping them to survive. And that felt really meaningful, that I built a company that has that kind of impact. And also, it's very satisfying, when you're standing there in line and you're paying, and you see that they pull up a SumUp terminal. I like paying with SumUp, of course, myself, being a founder, but it's almost more satisfying when I see someone else, coming in, picking up their coffee, tapping the card on the terminal and just going. Like, that's how fast you should be able to pay. And we built that. We did it with a bit of help from Apple, of course, with Apple Pay and the NFC technology. But we created an incredible user experience, and so these businesses can grow faster and be mobile thanks to the company that we built.
Yeah. During these tough times, did your wife told you to stop at some point, or did she always say, go on?
After 2.5 years, I was in Ireland at a football game. So my oldest son, he scored his first goal in the football game, and I missed it. I was there, but I was talking to a bank on a Sunday, and so I didn't see his first goal. And after that, I really felt like, at that point, we'd hired the first 200 people. We'd raised over 100 million, and I knew the company was going to be successful. And my wife kind of said, "Are you done yet? or are we, is this enough?
Yeah.
Do you feel successful?"
Okay.
And I was like, I think I think the company is going to be successful. And when I was growing up, my dad worked really hard. He worked really long hours. And I would have liked to have had more time with him. And so I didn't want my kids to grow up like that. And sort of the trade-off of working additional time for the company versus spending that time with my kids, knowing that the company is going to be successful, but it's going to take a long time. Because when you build a business which is targeting small business owners and helping them to build their businesses, you're going to need a lot of businesses to be able to build a successful company with a high valuation. So I didn't want to put 10 years in working super hard and not being there for my family and my kids. So that was the point when my wife and I had that discussion, and we decided that, okay, I step back and we look at some other opportunity while SumUp continues to grow, and we keep our founder shares, and then one day it's going to be a big success, and then we get the return on our investment.
As a final recommendation for founders who start something, what would be your advice in one sentence?
Find an idea that you really fall in love with, that you believe that you're the best person, the only person in the world to solve that problem and to build that company.
If you want to hear more from Petter, 14th and 15th of January in Rapperswil, Moin Startup Camp, you can hear his talk of the whole story and get in touch after the talk with you and talk about your ideas and make it a big success with Ivor, right?
Yeah. So Ivor is a radically selective fellowship where we help outlier founders to build companies with a global impact. And I'm a partner at the firm. And the 7 of us, we are all one-on-one personal coaches with the companies that make it into the program. We accept 35 companies into the program per year, where we invest up to 500,000 and help them to build amazing companies and to raise a really big pre-seed round, which is when they graduate and they go out and they build their own unicorns.
Where is SumUp today?
Today, SumUp just, I think 3-4 weeks ago, launched into the 37th country, which was Mexico. And they have over 5 million small businesses as customers today. There's over 3,600 employees spread in offices all over the world. And yeah, it's still growing by quite an impressive amount every year, and continuing to innovate and continuing to come up with new features and new services to make it easier for small businesses to grow and to thrive with what they're building.
Cool, Petter, thank you very much and see you in January.
Thank you. See you then.